pull the stream up here.
Doing it live.
We're doing it live. So
actually driving over to Bones after we get off this shift, or Bonds. I call him Bones in real life.
Okay, fair enough. Oh, you guys live in the same place?
Oh yeah, we're friends for real. Like,
dude,
actually,
man.
our ladies were friends, and
that's brilliant. I'm telling you guys. Oh,
well, we got about a little over a half hour away from those guys.
Oh, okay. I'm coming to your houses like that. Like the idea of like, sitting down with you guys for a beer, like literally is like filling my heart with joy. So we're going to have to like legitimately do that now that we're like coming out the ass end of this pandemic bull crap, which is kind of nice. Anyway, so if you guys don't know, this is Mars, Utah. We got Recurrier. MetaForce is launching like this weekend. We've been talking about MetaForce for a long time. I'm going to be giving out some MetaForce NFTs throughout the show. We're super excited about it. Recurrier is building, with a team. They've got the MetaForce plot in the uplift is baller. I still remember when he's like, I'm going to make a little building. There's like freaking crazy shit now. He's also leading the team that built the Crypto Monkeys thing. Like these are some of, if like the ultra badasses in the uplift. They're really good friends of ours. Recurrier, I'm excited that you're here.
It's getting really real. Like day before launch, everything's coming together. We have everything on testnet. So I was going through that stuff with Jonah and the rest of the guys last night, tweaking all the stuff, and we're getting ready. I'm pumped. I'm excited.
Right.
Yeah. Like Recurrier said, we're coming down to about the 24-hour mark, and just thank you guys for being here too. I'm super excited. I haven't been on your show with you yet. So trying to get the gears turning in the morning. I go by the Michael Scott adage of being a night owl and an early bird. So I'm wise and I have worms.
Okay. All right then. Sounds good. All right. Hey, I don't have anything. I'll pop the game out, get some gratitudes out, and then we'll just carry on. I gotta shrink this a little bit.
Anytime I can quote The Office in the morning, it's going to be a good day. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I mean, we talked about it a long time. MetaForce is it's a comic first and primarily, but it's also kind of going to be more than that. And I'm pretty excited, to see. I talked to Recurrier a little bit about it last night, and I even learned some new things. So I'm pretty excited to see like how this pans out. My favorite thing about it is like you guys all have your own characters in the comic. You all have your own essentially superheroes in the comics. I think that's really cool. So I'm grateful for Corey. I'll go. I'm grateful for creativity.
Excellent. That's a good one. Yeah, I'll dive in and follow that up with Jimmy. That is and was what our project was all about from the inception. The reason that we are characters in there is because the storyline evolved from, our real world interactions and friendships in the metaverse, and it just evolved into this storyline. So that's what makes it organic and super fun, is creating a project, with your friends. So, I'll go and say that I'm grateful, for my crew, Recurrier, everybody else, that's the other founders in MetaForce and everyone that's helping us. Being able to be creative and launch a project with your friends is, I don't know what I could be more grateful than that.
See, love it. Here's the problem with going last with the gratitudes. You guys literally stole all the things that I was going to say.
All the things are gone.
That's why at Thanksgiving I have to go first, because then I get to say I'm thankful for family, and then everybody else is stuck.
Yeah, everyone's like, shit, I guess I like turkey. Damn it.
I'm going to say I'm grateful for the community that is being built around MetaForce, because there are people that are really getting into it, and it is it's very humbling and very fulfilling to have other people really enjoy what you're putting out in the world. And my background is in like a super boring job. I did engineering. Like nobody's like, yeah, engineers, right? They're just like, I'm happy.
Only other engineers.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm very grateful for a community that is grateful for us. So that is awesome to me. I like
huge.
That.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
We've been experiencing that with the uplift too, and it humbling is a great word for it.
Yeah.
It's just like that, you know, we're really lucky to be here. Right.
Yeah.
It's,
for sure.
It's such a gift. And as you know, I know just from our previous conversations, like I know that, you know, you've felt that way from the beginning. And it, you know, MetaForce is going to kick ass. Like I know that. I barely know anything about it. I just know it's going to be awesome. It's going to be really good. So if anybody else has any gratitudes, again, short that they want to throw up, let me know. I'd be happy to put some fans' gratitudes on here for sure. But if you could, so tell us, like, give us the high level view, like what is going on with this. I'm actually going to be, people should throw their Wax accounts. I'll just do some claim links. I'll just drop some claim links for the fast ones in there. But yeah, tell us everything about MetaForce. Start at the beginning.
So the beginning really, as Mars was saying, came from Upland, and a group of us were all playing in Upland, and we all had these ideas for businesses in that metaverse. And as we talked about our ideas, Mars and I had a lot of parallel thinking. I was really into the idea of somehow making comics or comic books, but I didn't have the artistic acumen necessary. So I was, you know, the stuff I was making was a little more clunky. And Mars and ADK are great artists, and they had their brand Red Planet, and so Mars and I started talking. We were like, well, let's do a collaboration because I've got a thing and you've got a thing. And then we were both friends with Left House, and we were like, oh, well, we all kind of have the same sensibilities and ideas about art and comics. And as we started talking about how we were going to do this collaboration, and we're like, okay, well, we'll do this on your brand and we'll do this. And we were like, finally, we got to a point where it's like, we've got something real here. This deserves to be its own thing, to stand on its own. And we came to that decision probably late summer last year, maybe early fall. And we just said, you know, screw it. We are going to go for it. We're going to dive in the deep end of the pool, and we want to make something really significant here. And that's how it came together. So it was the three of us, and then ADK, and we worked really closely with T Davis on a lot of stuff, especially me. Me and T are partnered up on a whole bunch of stuff, and he has really good background and strength in not only art. You know, he's a decent graphic artist on his own, and has done some works, but in web spaces and building the web pages and doing really, you know, interesting, cool stuff with that. So the five of us ended up coming together and building all the art, and really the biggest credit for the artwork goes to ADK. He's awesome. Mars and I do a lot of concept talking and like, this is where we want the story to go. This is how we want the world to build out. This is our long-term vision. And then Mars does the concept art and works with ADK to really make it a beautiful finished product. So I cannot give enough credit to ADK. He's the man that brings all of these ideas to life. We couldn't do it without him.
Yeah. Just to piggyback on that, you know, I actually forgot even that the portion of this project we were going to launch it in all our different places like morons.
Yeah.
But no, to go back to ADK, you know, he is the top level artist here, and we've been friends since I think 7th grade. He and I, you know, he's another real world friend. So that's another, you know, unique thing. You know, obviously anyone in the metaverse, we connect. You know, Recurrier, Left House is coming to my wedding, and I've still never met him in real life. You know, so we make real friendships that way. But to be able, you know, to get together and actually work on these projects with, you know, someone I've been drawing comics with and trying to write storylines and hobbying this way, you know, for a long time, it's really special. To every once in a while, we just kind of look at each other and, you know, who would have thought that at this point in our lives, this is the closest we're going to get. So it's been a fun ride, you know, developing the characters. like Recurrier said, I do a lot of the concept art. The few of the altars actually are mostly my art. I can't believe they stayed that way, but there is some things, but he is the man that draws all the characters and the amazing stuff.
Yeah, the one that blows me away the most is the Hell Camino, because the first time I looked at that, I was like, oh, cool, you touched up a picture of a car, and it's like, no, we drew that. And I'm like, holy cow.
Oh, this one? Oh, you just drew that?
Yeah. So I drew the outline and sent it over to him, and he sent it back to me the next morning. I'm not sure when I looked at it, but I was still not quite all there. I'm like, yeah, cool, you're going to draw that? And he's like, no, zoom in. I'm like, oh, well, shit, you shaded that, huh?
Yeah,
that's
when you
incredible.
zoom in on that, you can see the shading marks, all of the detail in that is drawn in for sure.
I want one of these.
I remember the first time we actually had you on the stream, Courier, and you forgot to close the curtain behind you, and we were like, "Hey, what are all those cool things on the?"
So we still have it. Look, this is all our concept art. That's everything from This is late last summer, early fall. This is the original sketch for the original concept for one of the branding. Here's some of our original sketches for this stuff. Here I was taking all my dimensions off to digitize it. We have some badges here. This is our original sketch for how we were going to do the burn mechanisms and everything.
Hold on. I want to get this. I want to make that bigger. Can you show that again?
Yeah. So we have like some original placeholder names on there, and
I love it. I love it.
All that stuff. So I keep this stuff
But
here.
that's actually on the site. If you go to the site, you can see that it's actually square instead of a hand drawn, but it's actually there. Like that's a thing to put on the site. This is a really important doodle, really.
These are these are original sketches here, and I keep them here because sometimes it's nice to just pull the curtain back and look at them and think about the stuff. So I just
that concept of the chain rack helmet that we're gonna have to get out to people at some point. The actual paper sketch. That's one of my favorites when we're doing recurring character.
Yeah, we're keeping all these. And if you go back and look at some of the streams that we did back in the fall, we put there's Easter eggs already that are 6 months old from streams we did.
That's so good.
A lot of them
before we announced anything. Like for a little while, right on the corner of my desk here, I have a helmet, and I just let it sit just out of frame on the corner of the desk, and that was I don't know, November. So we have and there's more stuff than that. We dropped little hints and all kinds of stuff. So it's been a real fun kind of way to play it out and tease it out and we've just been having fun with it, which is great. But we took a long time to develop it because we wanted to for us, we're all collectors as well. And it was really important to us to get the mechanics right, to get the collections right, to bring value to the collectors. We did not want to overproduce Series 1. We actually have a really small run compared to some of the things that are coming out now that have hundreds of thousands or millions of NFTs. We wanted to make sure that our priority was giving a tight collection that was going to hold its value over time to the people that supported us first at launch. We're not doing that thing where you oversupply like mad just so you can burn 80% of the collection. We do have a crafting mechanism, but 100% of our crafting is accounted for. We specifically didn't do a craft to upgrade rarities because that throws your rarity counts all off. It gets all wacky. There are some collections out there where there's less commons than uncommons because they didn't think about how how their rarity was going to work, and so people are paying exorbitant prices for commons to be burned, and the uncommons are like hardly worth anything. So it was very, very important to us to not only understand having a very tight, limited, specific, purposeful crafting, but that we also knew how many cards were going to be crafted. So we put a stop in there. Like there's a limited resource, the essence, that you can only craft so much, and then that'll be gone. And there's a hard stop. You can't, we designed it so you can't screw up the rarity numbers. Everything is built in to the whole collection. We did all the math. We did all that. It was very, very important that it was solid and it all made sense.
Yeah, there's only so low the card counts can go because of the amount of essence cards that you're going to need for the upgrade.
See, this is the thing. Like a bunch of NFT degens are like, what would we buy? Right? Like, and you know, and this, because we experienced the same thing. Like a lot of the mechanics that we figured out and learned doing the uplift art drops, like the stuff that we went with was the stuff we started brainstorming on. Like, I would buy that right now, right? Like the stuff like, how do I pone myself? And then just make stuff that we know we're going to interact with. And that's what's super exciting about this. And like I feel like what you guys are doing has a really good shot at becoming one of these genre among themselves, right? Like this could be the rethink for how this kind of content gets out into the world in a super meaningful way, right? Yeah. Like Our Planet is going to become a genre. I know 2 teams already that are planning to copy them, right? Because there's no barrier. They've come up with a game mechanic that's genius. Of course,
they all keep using my name, Corey. They all keep trying to colonize me. I don't have much room left.
I know, dude. I'm sorry, Mars. Yeah. For a second, I was going to try and make a Utah joke, but nobody wants to go there. So
they all want to build on Mars all the time.
I know, it's true. There's a project connected to Chicken Ka that's talking about doing a Mars thing, and I told them not to fucking wait. Like if you wait, and Mars colony's blowing shit up now. I mean, it's another project that's super fun. Yeah, so I think what you guys are doing has a really good shot at becoming that kind of trend-setting way that people do creative things and then have them go out in the world. I think it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the burn mechanic, Recurring and I went back and forth a lot on that. I've said it on other shows, but I'll reiterate it. Being having the artists as part of our team, we're really a lot more, I shouldn't say a lot more tuned in, but that was our focus, at least on ADK and I's side. And like Recurrier said, a lot of these other projects, the lower levels just feel kind of semi-disposable, and don't seem to feel like an important part of some collections. They're just there to facilitate the burn mechanic. So we wanted to layer those 2 things together, where every piece was important to the collection, but also there's ability to have a fun burn mechanic and create, the race towards the mint numbers on the champions. So we wrestled with that a lot, because just overall, being a real world artist that moved into the NFT space, my first reaction to intentionally encouraging someone to burn your artwork in any form, it's like, oh wait, what? You're getting rid of this forever? That doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. So it took me a while to wrestle with that concept and really figure out a way that made sense to me as an artist too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's the thing, and Mars is right. He and I kicked this around because we're like, we want to have some way of crafting, but we don't want it to be like these others where it's like, here's just crafting fodder for you to get rid of. It had to be meaningful. It had to be purposeful. It had to make sense, and it had to not mess up the collection mechanics. So here's the thing. There are 0 champions in the packs. You cannot open a champion card. You have to make them. And the way you make them aligns 100% with how the comic book lore creates these champions. There is, in the comic books, these are citizens. They're, it's kind of the whole Clark Kent, Superman type of thing. Peter Parker, Spider-Man, right? They're connected, but the thing that brings them their superpowers is this essence and connecting with some kind of physical object. And there are very, very few people, very few citizens in the world that can do this. And so in our burn mechanism, you're doing that. You are doing the backstory of the characters to create the champions. You have to take the right character, you have to take the right altar, and you have to have essence of the same rarity. And here's the really interesting thing. A lot of people consider, in a lot of ways, commons to be like, you toss them out, right? We might be the first, I'm not sure of this, so I don't want to say it, but we might be the first where we're doing a mint sprint for commons. There are going to be people that are like rushing as hard as they can to get the common card, because you can't get a champion common out of a pack. You can guarantee, if you're the fastest, that you can get the mint number 1 of these champions by building them. Common card.
Yeah. Anders is gonna get that fucking Anders.
Yeah. and it's the same all the way up, right? All the way up to collector's editions. And this is the part that I both simultaneously love and hate as a collector, right? CEs, they're your pinnacle, right? We've designed it so they're very, very few. And to have a chance to get them, you're going to have to open a lot of the packs, right? This whole thing's not going to work with a 30% pack opening. So to get the champion collector's edition, you have to take a champion citizen and a champion altar and a champion, or a collector's edition citizen, a collector's edition altar, and a collector's edition essence. And you have to burn all 3 of those to get the champion collector's edition. And so
commitment.
Those champion collector's editions, they're going to be hard to come by and very rare. And I think there's a very good chance that at least some of them will end up being one of ones.
That's crazy.
Yeah. The more burn mechanics that get, the more burns that get executed as well. The essence cards aren't officially part of the collection. They're card number 0. They're meant to be the fuel for the burns. But, as that goes down, you're going to have to make more of a decision of, how you value that essence card as well. So there's going to be a lot of angles in play. I'm not sure we've even thought of them all yet, to be honest with you. People always find new angles. So, but that's kind of how we wanted to make it work. So you're racing towards minting, the champions by number, really, instead of creating a higher rarity.
Yeah. And the other thing,
I just want to say real quick, fuck you guys. Because I just started stacking some wax. I don't even know why I tried. And I know how many times have we joked about this? Wax is almost impossible to keep. It's just
it's hard.
But that currency, it has so much velocity.
Yeah.
All I gotta say, if you're not stacking at least a little bit of wax in a year, you're gonna be like, shit balls. I've noticed, and sorry, recorder, please don't forget your point. What I've noticed, fascinating to me, is as the price of wax moves up, I figured the NFT price would go down, right? In wax relative, right? I thought it would be more dollar relative, but it actually has been maintaining to a really high degree, right? So the NFT base price for all this stuff seems to be riding the wax trend up, and who knows how long that's going to last and what the dynamics are going to be. But for now, anyway, it's that's a pretty good wave to be on.
Yeah. Like I said, Courier mentioned our first project, ADK and I, which is a collection on Atomic Hub, is Red Planet art. So I beat all the Mars Planeters to the punch on Atomic. So I have Red Planet art there, and I hadn't priced some of that stuff in quite a long time, and now that those prices are really different based on the value of wax. So it's pretty funny when they started selling. Hadn't really thought about that. I went back, and all of a sudden it was way more than I intended it to be. So
that's good. These are good problems. These are good problems.
Yeah.
So another intricacy that we had with this whole upgrading path, what happens sometimes in these mint sprints is people don't wait for the mint number to be generated, and they end up burning mint number 1s. And that was something where I was like, I don't like that. I don't want our mint number 1s to be burned. And we talked about how do we do this? How do we make this happen? How do we bring value to the people that can't necessarily open packs the minute that they come out, and we make sure that our mint number ones don't get burned. So the first 40% of packs, not packs, first 40% of cards that open of total card count will not contain a mint number one.
Wait, what? Like just automatically?
Yes. So they're pre-mint. The first 80% of cards are pre-mint.
Uh-huh.
That pre-mint pool is split into two chunks of 40%. The first 40%, there are no mint number ones in that first 40%.
You guys are evil geniuses. That's so good.
We still hope that people take the time to look for mint 2, mint 3, whatever. But if somebody is balls out crafting, they're going to want to not look for that.
Right.
So the other thing that this guarantees, is the first mint one is guaranteed to be a champion.
What? How do you do that?
Because
because everyone's going to be minting it.
Yeah, the champions are based on demand.
40% pool. Yeah.
Anders, you paying attention?
So
watch. Like Anders is going to be on this like white on rice.
So the first mint one that will be in circulation is guaranteed to be a champion, and chances are it might be the champion common card, which could make a common card one of the most valuable things because it was the first mint number one of the series to ever be in circulation.
I feel like we should just do the chop. Like that's where do you go from there? Like that's like,
we got more. We got more, Corey.
Yep.
We got
no,
more.
I don't. This is the conversation is definitely not over.
Yeah, I mean, is it obvious that we spent months on designing this stuff?
Yeah,
where we
I remember talking to you about it. Like I like just the amount of time that you guys have spent on it. While I'm yelling at everyone, don't wait. What you guys have done was worth waiting for.
Yeah,
I must say.
Thank you.
Once you hit that 40% open, and it's 40% of cards, because we intentionally didn't want the big pack, little pack, different rarity things to add problems to the pooling.
Got it.
So once you go, there's no 40% pack and whatever. All the packs will draw from the same pools.
I like that actually. Like just that mechanic where you have like a higher percentage in the other one. Like, just give me more cards from the pool.
Yeah. So once you hit that 40%, then the mint number ones are going to be popping. And so there's going to be people are going to have to pay attention to how much of the card packs are open.
Yeah.
And that also means that all the way up to 80%, there's mint number ones that are sitting there. There's essence in those packs, and there's collector's editions in those packs that you might need to get at to get your, like if you want a collector's edition, champion, like people are going to have to keep opening these packs. There's no way around it because the value of the collection is in the cards. And so we're very intentional.
And that's as it should be too. Like I love Ken Bozak to death, but he loves hodling shit forever. Like, dude, that's not the point. He's like, I think he told me he hasn't like an Alien Worlds land. He hasn't taken it out of the pack. I'm like, dude, that's just dumb. He's like, oh, it's gonna be worth more. Like, I don't know, man. Like maybe, but I don't know.
Well,
I'm both those guys. As you see, I have some toys behind me.
This is true, but those toys aren't spitting out like 1,000 trillion a month. So
I buy two. One comes out of the pack for fun, and one stays in it.
That's the way to go. That's the way to go.
Here's the other thing. That is a big, call it a problem or whatever in the space, that people hold packs. And sometimes people hold huge amounts of packs, a significant portion of the collection.
Right.
And they never open them. Right. Well, our pack opening, you can open packs for a year. And then it's
you're going to cut it off.
The smart contract gets closed. And what that does is, first off, it incentivizes people to open the cards, get them into circulation. But the thing about those packs sitting out there are all these collectibles that I'm like super happy I have, but at any time, some super whale that's holding 10% of the collection worth of packs could just be like, you know what? Today, I'm opening all the packs. And these super valuable cards get devalued massively because the whole circulation model changes. you might be popping these really, really rare cards in these packs where this guy thought for 3 years he had the only one of these, and then bang, 2 more come into existence, right? Mm. And the other thing is all of these templates to do the minting on demand and all of these things, the templates have to be left open as long as those packs could be left open. That means you look on there and it's like, oh, hey, I've got mint number whatever of infinity. There's no definite close to the collection. And so with us, after a year, all of those templates will say you have mint number this of this, and that can never, ever change.
Yeah.
Nobody can open packs and dilute the thing. If after a year from now, you have the only collector's edition of the champion,
that's it.
You will have that forever. That is your one of one. Nobody can devalue that accidentally. Right. And so we put right on the face of the pack, must open by
today, next year.
Yeah, today, next year. So it says right on the face of the pack, open by April 30th, 2022. We've got a big disclaimer in the metadata. We're putting it in all of our interviews because this is very different from what other people are doing.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be controversial for some people, but this was our intention. We want to get stuff out there into circulation. You'll still have the NFT, and
the mechanics are really, the mechanics are really good. I also feel like what you've created is a guppy net, right? Like, what's a really, a mechanic that is going to find those people that are going to miss and complain about shit? I might call you guys guppies, maybe, but it's just a guppy net. It's like, this is what's happening. And then, you just get, a little net up. This is a terrible analogy, by the way. But it's like, but like some people are going to complain about everything. It's one thing we've learned at the Uplift. Like, it's just, what's amazing is how few of them, right? Like 2,000 people in the Uplift Telegram channel, like 1,400 in Discord now. And like, it's usually like 1 or 2 that are like, just whining about everything. Like,
I was gonna say, you get a handful of really loud ones.
Right. Yeah. So sometimes. Right. And it just makes me so grateful for the vast, like 99% almost of the people in there that are just like super supportive, like really fun. And like, we'll bring constructive criticism, which is great. Like, bring me that all day, every day. Right. Like I want that. That's juicy stuff that we can use to make this whole experience better for everyone. Right. But they do it in a positive way. Like, hey, have you guys thought about this or whatever? It's just like it's been amazing, and I'm sure your guys' community is pretty much the same.
Yeah, so it's been really great. The community is really, especially this week, gelling. We are all about transparency, all about putting it all out there. We took we took our spreadsheet that we formulated that said, here are all of the cards. There are this many of this card count, this many of this card count. This is how many we expect to be burned. This is the total amount of cards. That's on our website. The same spreadsheet that went to Jonah to build the collection, the same spreadsheet that we work off of. You can see 100% of the data about the collection on our website right now. Every freaking card.
As it should be. I like it.
Yeah. So
what I'm excited about? I'm excited for the episode in the comic book where Courier's character breaks into Mars Utah's house and opens all of his unopened boxes of toys because he said, I put it in the fine print. We're gonna open them in a year. I think
right.
Yeah, guys, London Land has not dropped yet. That's on our short list for the near term. Unless I don't think they got it. I think a lot of people, the rail in London dropped. Like that was a third of the rail that got sold in the first sale was in London. So that's probably what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh yeah. So did Sharon tell us more about the storyline? I'd love to hear about that too.
Yeah, I'll jump in on that one. That's what I was just thinking about as well. That's our guy, Nietzsche in there, Upland guy. He's also involved in Minecraft worlds. But yeah, so the overall arc is you have your 5 citizens, and they get to building in the metaverse, constructing whatever their object or their thing might be. They're titled altars. And the essence, it's definitely representative of the one force that runs through all of these blockchain games that differentiates from other games. Wink, wink, nod, nod. So the once they get to creating their altar, the essence gets involved and wreaks a little havoc. And through that creation process, you get the champion. So, we can start with Recurrier, for instance. His character gets to creating the Hell Camino in the Metaverse, his beloved car.
Yeah.
And the essence gets involved, which is representative of a little bit of blockchain. And, that changes the landscape. And, through that meta fusion out the other side comes Chainwreck. So, that's going to be the same, path for every character in the story. We have T. Davis, and he's made his mark taking over the Little Italy neighborhood in Upland. So, that's definitely his brand. So you have the T. Davis character, and his altar is the famed Umberto's Clam House in Little Italy. If you know that one, the place where Crazy Joe Gallo met his demise. So that he builds a reconstruction of Umberto's, and the essence, starts to run wild. And through meta fusion, T. Davis becomes the Block Father, protecting Little Italy in the Metaverse.
We approve. Yeah, Jimmy's so quiet today. Kind of scary. It's kind of scary.
I mean, that's the thing though. Like, it's very seldom that I'm quiet, but part of the reason that I'm so quiet is I'm just fascinated by all of the, like you said, the thought that went into this. And like, I'm kind of a big comic book like fan. So like, after we got through, the pack opening tokenomic like card type of thing, and now they're talking about, a comic book that I have never really seen, but I can see it in my head, and I'm just like, lore. I love lore.
Yes, that's what a lot of it took. We did spend a lot of time on the lore. I have probably 10 pages of initial story development, just written word story development on the lore and each character. So, we really spent a lot of time on that before we even started visualizing the characters, because you don't want to create someone visually and then try to pen them to their story. It's all got to work together from the get-go, in my opinion. A lot of these sci-fi and comic projects, when you look back in a few years, you see how when they hand the baton from writer to writer, the story just gets more convoluted and convoluted. So we tried to really set the path, And, they do follow our real world characters some. When I first joined Upland, I found a neighborhood called Buena Vista, which, it's tied to the real world tax map. So it's a real place. And there happens to be an actual Mount Olympus in San Francisco in Buena Vista. And so I bought the real estate on the top of Mount Olympus. I had already been Mars for years. I was, that's one of my monikers from my music days and things like that. So that brought me there, not the other way around. But that's my story in the Metaverse. The Mars Utah character gets to creating the Pantheon on the top of Mount Olympus, and then the essence gets involved, and then my champion is Wardrop. So he's just everything I love from gladiator and samurai culture, basically wrapped up into one amazing champion.
That's awesome. Hey, just a quick comment. Joey was saying the server's down. We're migrating to what's called a Bungie server that's going to have up to 1,000 concurrent players per world per map right now, and so just expect server shittiness for a couple days. It should be done today, but please give them some time. We might have mentioned that this is a closed alpha. We're not kidding. We're literally building and standing this thing up. Just so that everybody knows, Decentraland gets really excited when they can put 300 people of their 12,000 total players on that map at once. We're talking about putting 12,000 players concurrently in the uplift inside 90 days. So that's we're building this as we're doing it. So that's why the server keeps going up and down. They're going to work on this stuff as fast as they can, but please, be super patient with it. And obviously, let us know anytime stuff happens like that, because we are trying to keep it up as much as we possibly can. That's what she said. Sorry. What? Anyway, and seriously, everybody's been super patient with it, and thank you very much for that. Just please know that they stayed up almost all night last night trying to get stuff done. They're back at it already today, trying to get some stuff done with the servers, and it's going to be up and down, for a little bit until we can get into this new configuration in a stable way. So
yeah, I just want to touch on that. It's funny that you say that because, actually my favorite when I was in high school, I used to collect comics, and I really liked what Volant Comics did when they came out, because they created this whole kind of world that, all of the comics were running together, from the beginning. And I mean, Marvel's done it too, poorly at many points in times if you're a comic fan, because like there's so many inconsistencies that parallel with different writers and things like that. One of the things I love about the Uplift is we get people like Recurrier who come in with Crypto Monkeys, or people that come in from various projects, and they build out in the the first server that we had, which was the Genesis land. And it's interesting to me hearing this, because I've never heard this backstory before, but the way that you guys have organized the citizens, and the way that you've almost taken the lore directly from the Uplands, game that you were all involved in, with the Little Italy, with the Parthenon on top of Mount Olympus. Like, that's really impressive to me, and I really think that's super cool that you guys did that. I wouldn't have thought of doing it, but it's really, really cool, actually.
Yeah, thank you. It did really start, with, because we all did meet through Upland, but, and also, the metaverses, with you guys, with Uplift, and Our Planet, it just keeps unfolding. So to me, I don't feel like each game is a metaverse. I think we're all in the metaverse.
Agreed.
And that's how we're going to treat it.
Yeah.
And so we're going to move through all these different games. The evildoers are our bad guys. They're the Fed, the Federation of Evildoers, and they're quite a cast of characters. And each one back end, it's not too apparent now, but they are tailored to kind of their character has a hatred of each sort of individual metaverse that we're dealing with now. So we're really hoping to cross over and travel to places like the Uplift and introduce new characters and really make the whole thing a community, about the metaverse and about Wax.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to ask. So I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to say, now I'm kind of waiting to see like where they go, like where, like not in place, but like in story, right? So I mean, are they going to end up in Uplift? They're going to end up over in Alien Worlds. They're going to end up probably in all of these like little, places throughout the system. And I think it's just going to be really interesting to see. Like, I know Recurrier was saying like you guys have plans to release, something like consistently. It's not just going to be like one here, one there, one somewhere, like more kind of like a legacy world system whereby you have a release on a certain day of the month or on a certain day of the week or something like that. So I think that's like going to be really cool. It'll give a lot of people something to look forward to, which I think is actually sorely needed, because, if you look at the world we live in, the Netflix world that we live in, like if I think back, like one of my favorite things to do, used to be come home from work, pour a glass of whiskey, sit down in front of the TV and watch one TV show a week. Like the one TV show that I liked, I had to wait for it all week. Now Netflix comes and it's like, you miss it. And you just, you feel crappy and you sit down for one whole day and you watch like a whole series, right? So I think that's really interesting. If you can put NFTs into that system where they're only released on a certain day of a certain time, and that brings that kind of, old world excitement back, the waiting to be able to see it, the collection aspect of it. So yeah, I'm a really big fan of everything that you guys are doing, and I think it's just awesome on every level.
Thanks, Jimmy. And I feel the same way, just real quick about TV shows. I'll give Disney and Marvel a lot of credit, making us hang week to week for The Mandalorian and The Falcon and Winter Soldier. It feels like the old days, and I like it.
Fuckers. It drives me nuts. But you're probably right. Like that, it's smart.
So definitely with the tie-ins, we have identified collaboration partnerships. We are so it's definitely the MetaForce is the protectors of the multiverses of the metaverses, right? It's all one huge thing, and we're treating it that way. So absolutely, if you look at the MetaForce plot in the Uplift, the Parthenon's there, the anti-reality booth is there. Like, how we constructed the plot in the Uplift actually ties in relevant to lore and backstory in the comic books.
Yeah. It's good.
And we are finding spots and finding ways to set up things in other metaverses that will also tie into the comic books. So as the comic books travel through these metaverses, you can travel through the metaverses themselves and see tie-ins to the story. It's not just on the page. It's definitely going to be there on the page. But the plan is to actually have the collaborations with these projects, interact with the IP, interact with the games themselves, so that if you're in Upland and you're like, oh, remember in, you know, this issue they talked about this place, well, go there. It's in Upland, right? We're building it. And oh, remember in the Uplift issue they talked about blah blah blah. There it is. So we want to take the idea of interconnecting all of these metaverses and almost make that the project.
Yeah.
Right? Grow the community so that it breaks down those silos. It break down those walls of like, my project's better than your project. Like, no. Why does it need to be one? Why can't we just all enjoy all of this stuff and have this really cool way of connecting it, and have these comic books that will come out every 2 months, and the stories are going to be there. And then I'm really like, I know it's important to it's the Netflix mentality, Jimmy. Like I want to draw this out, but at the same time, I just want to put everything on the table and be like, hey, everybody, look at this. This is cool. So, but yes, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep building. We want this to be something more than just a drop to make some money. We're keeping our numbers small. We're keeping our prices are not very expensive at all for this stuff. We're not looking to get rich off this. We want to build a brand that's lasting and meaningful and ties in other people. And so that was a discussion we had up front. Like, we're not in this to make a bunch of money off a drop. We are not doing like, 300,000 cards. Like, that's not what we're here for. And we all were on the same page about it. So
yeah, we want you to come back every other month. We're not just trying to slap these cards in your wallet and take off. So we want to make sure everybody's happy and having fun. And that was really the focus when we thought about it. Obviously everybody wants to launch a successful project, but when you're looking at a comic book style release where you're going to keep coming back, hopefully infinitely, you really want to do things the right way from the start.
Well, this, like, the amount of thought that you guys have put into this already, right? I can safely assume, just for myself, that when you guys do more stuff, it's going to be tied in. Like, we constantly think, how do we bring more value to like the Genesis NFT holders, for example, right? And so like we've been busy doing a bunch of other stuff, but like we're going to do another community drop relatively soon, and so we think about that stuff. So I know, based on everything you guys have done, what you guys do next will be at least as fascinating and will tie into everything else, right? Because you're constantly thinking about these things at even like a much more complex level than we ever have, right? So I know it's going to be good. Yeah.
And so you guys all know I come from the Crypto Monkeys world of distribution. Like, that's going to tie in. All of our stickers, we have given those all out, and some were through like normal drops, and we understand some of those drops get botted, and there's nothing that we can necessarily do about that. But some people rely on getting them through those drops and don't know another way to do it. Others are through community engagement and through the Uplift and through Upland. We're distributing them within Upland. We're trying to find all of these methods so that these two worlds, like, they need to work with each other, right? Because the people that are getting stickers from drops and the people that are getting stickers from engagement, they need each other. They're going to work together. They're going to have to trade, and that trading can happen. There's no fee trading on Atomic Hub, trustless, no fee trading. That's awesome. We love to see that happening. There's going to be a secondary market, and that's great too. and we're going to continue to distribute certain things through that mechanism. You know, there's going to be certain collaboration pieces and other stuff that are going to be in addition to the comic books. We're not going to be necessarily looking to sell all of those. You know, we want to continue to bring some value to people that hold the MetaForce stuff. So like the monkey farming, you know, that's going to be a thing. If you hold certain things, you're going to get certain things. I'm really intrigued by some of this whitelisting that Our Planet did. I'm going to say,
us too. We're paying close attention to that.
I was part of the drop yesterday. I was whitelisted.
Mm-hmm.
That is the smoothest drop I have ever seen on Atomic.
Yep.
Ever. Cloud Wallet.
And I got two.
Yeah.
I'm not excited about that at all.
For an instant.
Yeah, it was fast.
And the other thing that's great about that is there are a whole lot of users that only use Cloud Wallet and don't really have it in them to put together a desktop wallet. And that's okay. If you're not tech savvy, it's okay that you use Cloud Wallet. Those people suffer on all of these drops. And we're not going to be able to fix that for this first drop, right?
Yeah.
We don't have any criteria to whitelist anybody. But, you know, it's something that I took a lot of positivity out of how it worked yesterday, and I liked it. So
what do you get? So we're making something that I affectionately named the super badass actual real human fans of the uplift list, like the whitelist. What if we made one for all of our projects?
Yeah.
Like exclusive as hell, right? Like I am is in here every day, right? Like throw him on the list, right? Yeah. Obviously you guys are on our list because you're you guys, right? But like, and like people that are playing the game, that was a great sort of gate mechanic that Our Planet used, right? So I think, you know, we're making this list. We're starting it out and trying to map out, you know, how to sort of have people on it. Like one of the things, like Andre Abello, we met him this morning, top of the fucking list. Like, I can't wait for you guys to meet this guy. We had a 10-minute conversation with him. Like, you are joining our team, please. He's awesome. So like map functionality, 2D game that doesn't require Minecraft. Like Andre's gonna fuck some shit up with us. Like I'm a little excited about it. But like, so, you know, I think we're gonna publish that list, you know, just on our website. And so everyone else is gonna know these are the people that are the core of our community. They're the people that are doing the builds. They're the people that are, you know, the hustle houses and you guys or whatever, right? The people in Telegram, Devin and, you know, Brad the Builder and like a bunch of other people that are like core to the vibe of this place, right? And I know that, you know, the people that are going to be your fans are going to be very similar, right? Crypto Monkeys is, you know, that community is utterly on fire. So, you know, it'd be interesting to see this, you know, a list of lists even, right? Like if everybody had their own, and like if we could ping them all, you know, we would, right? If we knew, you know, the best people of your community, that would be something I would be very interested in, right? Like that would be a very interesting gate for us to allow them. And what we're thinking about doing, just so you guys know, is taking 10 to 20%, even like, because we're probably going to keep doing the auctions after Chicken Ka, but doing like 10 or 20% of the land and rail random, but let our community buy it first. And, you know, slightly lower than lowest cost or whatever, like just like literally make it so that, you know, this, the whitelist, you know, you guys get first dibs basically on whatever we do.
Yeah, that's very cool. You know, and you'd end up with like these super community members that can tout being on every list.
Right, exactly. Right. That, you know, that, and again, like obviously we can give, I'm sure we will give out NFT badges. It makes them a lot easier to target. But yeah, you know, and then you could burn. We were thinking about doing this for different worlds, like for different passports for different worlds in the uplift. But could you imagine like having, you know, you guys have a super whitelist badge, we have a super whitelist badge, you know, whoever else, you know, Our Planet, yada yada yada, right? And you burn 5 of them together to get the holy shit, I'm like one of the basic coolest motherfuckers on the face of the earth, like that. Like I want to
love
be
it.
on that list now. Like I just pwned myself. I'm like, how do I get that? I want that.
You get a
Everyone hide your super cool badges from Anders because we don't want him to have the #1 mid badge.
Yeah, fuck Anders. Anders is not on the list.
hand out these shard badges that you can then combine for the super badge. I love it.
There you go. Right.
I had to talk to Jonah. Like maybe we'll write that in the smart contracts. Like this list of accounts, just give them errors until all the #1s are made, and then they can craft. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Jimmy's thinking.
Anders can be second. He's no longer allowed to be first. He's had enough. #1.
Anders can knock out all the #2s like a boss.
Exactly. Like we'll just send them to him directly.
Mars, like that's got to be a thing. The shard badge is huge, and then you have this thing that you can go in instead of burning, NFTs to get something in return. You go in and you place the shards in order, and they create this giant.
Oh my God! Can we make an NFT Voltron?
I mean, I feel like we have to now.
Yeah. They're each like the different parts, and they combine, and then you get the Voltron badge. That's
combine into the Wax Community Voltron.
Oh my God!
Roar! Hey,
we
Roar!
just invented the future. You're seeing it now, people. This is
happening in real time. Roar, you're obviously on our list anyway because we love you and we actually brought him onto the team to do all sorts of his like whiz bang visual stuff because it's just too good. But if you make that, we'll put you on the list twice or something. I don't know. Is that a thing we can do? I mean, don't tell anyone. I was on the Art Planet list twice by accident.
It's our secret.
No, I had one account where I had some extra, like my workhorse account, the Keza Jiao one. I had like some stuff staked there, and like I think I literally made 2, which was like the cutoff, and I thought that was really expensive when it was like 100,000 Aether. I don't know if you guys were watching when I did the thing on Tuesday with Bonds. I spent $4,000 worth of Aether on mini.
Yeah, I've been lazy too. I missed the.
It was worth
list,
it too.
Even though Bonds is my guy, and actually, last time we were hanging out, his daughter was supposed to show me how to use the element generator, and I would have made the whitelist. So it's.
Have you? You have to see like that.
Mars, I'm totally with you. I missed the whitelist too, and so I'm happy that like I'm not the only.
You're not the only one.
So I'll give out one little secret. Everybody knows the Pigwig tool, right? Everybody knows the Pigwig generator.
If you don't, that generator is all the marbles like that. And I think I tipped them. And I'm gonna do it again. It's Pigwig like. It's amazing because you just like click the thing, it buys all the stuff, and you click the thing and it just goes and builds everything. It would take me 7 years to do anything like that right now. There's no way I could do it.
So there's a rumor going around that Pigwig might be helping MetaForce with their website.
Go on.
I'm just saying.
That's a good get, son. That's good.
We're not saying. We're just saying.
Okay, cool. Hey, on a completely different note, we got the rail installed in Swineland, and it's a vastly upgraded rail system.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun. You can actually all the intersections work. There's overpasses. Like it's kind of slick. Greg actually designed it. Greg is of course the Waz of the Uplift. He's a good buddy of mine. Like very, very good. That's like he's one of my best friends on the face of the earth. He's a freaking gem. Anyway, so he put those stuff together. Gary installed it all. He's one of our sort of on staff builders now. It's funny too because like in real world he's like a hyper nerd. Like he does all this like data analytic stuff. He's like, no, I just want to build. All right, cool. These two.
Yeah, I need a Minecraft tutor lesson. Anytime I go in, I end up in a hole and I can't get out.
Well,
book Greg for some time, man. Like, Greg's taking it easy this week, but like he's been doing that on our channel. He's an awesome resource for that for sure.
Yeah, and I did the first episode I think with him where he did that, and it was cool because I didn't know anything about Minecraft, and we just got on, and he's just like, okay, dig here, go here, now put this here, and like he goes through step by step at whatever level you're at. It's really cool. So
I live streamed with you guys me learning how to Minecraft, and it was hilarious. Go back, I don't know, this is 2 or 3 months now. And like, I didn't even know how to make the guy face a direction or anything. And then they're like, oh, here's this thing. And I'm like, is this good? Is it good, this thing that I got? Or what's happening? So
yeah, I remember you came into the Upland Action News later that day, or talking about fighting cows or something.
Yes, I punched a cow to death.
You did punch a cow to death. It sounds way worse than it is.
Yeah, it's we just
Lisa's going to be angry about that one. I mean, you don't punch them.
You can't be
don't
mean
tell
to
her
cows or
about
NPCs.
Pushbud's steak machine. Then don't. Yeah, that's not
the automatic
steak maker
cooking machine.
Yeah, it's like flip this switch, it makes the calves, and then they grow into cows, and then we drop lava on them.
Yeah,
and then your steak's already pre-cooked.
Yes, yep. I mean,
I was like, dude, this is amazing. I don't know how you did this, but this is great. So it's
dark,
it's a steak vending machine.
It's a steak vending machine.
We have a steak vending machine on MetaForce.
Do they have those in Japan, Jimmy? You're in Japan, right? I know they have some weird vending machines.
Yeah, they have some really weird vending machines. There's some really weird.
Lisa listening.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? You can buy pretty much everything from a vending machine, and when I say everything, like I mean everything, like things that you wouldn't even think you could buy from a vending machine, you can buy them.
Yeah, I'm big in Japanese culture. I'm into MMA. I've been into it for quite a while, so always wanted to get over there. The Pride, the old Pride League that was over there, and fascinated by samurai culture. I have my Hattori Hanzo.
I noticed the Hattori Hanzo shirt. That's
swords
awesome.
And sushi. If you want to stop by, Hattori Hanzo swords and sushi.
Well, I mean, if you ever make it over here, we'll go out and we'll have some sushi and some other stuff, and we can find some weird vending machines that sell. So actually, it's funny. Like, there's some X-rated vending machines that I don't want to talk about, but like I took a photo like outside my friend's house the other day. There was a vending machine that was selling it was just 12 bottles of basically soup stock. And I'm like, why do you have a vending machine that's selling 12 bottles? It's what is that? Who uses that? It didn't make any sense to me. So
you lost me for a second there because I didn't realize you transitioned. You're like, there's these X-rated vending machines that sell soup, and I'm like, what kind of shit are you into, dude?
Yeah, right. It's like, these are some weird shaped noodles.
I definitely missed the pivot there.
Right?
It's really warm, okay? It's really warm.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's.
I don't want to say that. Yeah, I don't want to say the X-ray.
It took me a minute to recover from it.
I've seen some with some panties in them and things. So yeah, there's definitely.
Okay, well, you said it. So I mean that's kind of, the panties is all right. The one that weirds me out is the used panties one. That's.
Yeah, let's go back to soup.
Hey, I got nothing. So
that's why I brought up soup. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, sorry, I had to bring up Japan. It's an interesting place. That's why I love it.
It is. I want to go visit Jimmy there if the world ever opens back up.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. Hey, shout out to Big Bake, Bradley Baker. Thank you for connecting that for us. And Tim Daniels, I've been chatting with the future is now not anywhere near enough. I know. Thank you for your patience. We're definitely going to chat soon about what we were talking about in the Discord. Wink, wink. Nudgy, nudge, nudge. Now it sounds weird. Now that you guys were all making it weird, are we talking about panties? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Do you want to nudge about it?
Right? A little nudge. This is getting weird now.
I like how he's like, now it's getting weird. Dude,
yeah. That's the line. Before, not weird. Now, weird.
Yeah. You can ask Bonds when you talk to him. I'm good at finding the line.
I like it. I like it. As long as we accidentally step way over it, we're good. Which is fun. So I should mention, Nick and I are doing another happy hour tonight. I can't remember what time it is. It's gonna be on Clubhouse. That escalated quickly.
I think you said 9. I think you said 9 p.m.
9 Eastern. Yeah. So I go to bed, no bullshit. I go to bed at 8 o'clock because I'm up at usually 4:35 working on stuff, and then I just work until I pass out. That's more or less. I'm really excited. So I'm staying up late for this. This is when I'm staying up past my bedtime, and I did buy beer for it. So rock and roll.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't even think there's not even much. I used to have to keep everything secret. Now I just tell everyone everything anyway. I don't think there's
so much easier.
I have one big secret that I've told a few people that you guys can't know.
But you know what I like about that is everyone knows that they tune into the show for fun and they can hold the guest to whatever the guests say on the show.
Yeah.
But whatever we say,
whatever
you
say,
know the truth, you have to go to the website and check it out.
That's true.
It's not on the website.
And really, you have to go to the website today. It's what was the website 3 days ago? Maybe. That's possible.
Yeah, I like to throw out the disclaimer that I could be lying. That's how I wrap up some of those sentences.
It's like everything we're doing is changing every 36 hours. Some guy on the Discord too. Some guy in the Discord was like, "You can't keep saying it's an alpha like it's a mantra to fix everything." I'm like, yeah, I fucking can. Like, yeah, watch me. Like, our team works literally 15 hours a day. I'm gonna say we're in alpha until we're not. Right? Everything's gonna change except for the stuff that doesn't. You're welcome for getting into the game early because that's what we promised you would be able to do. Right?
And,
so that's
I mean, to your point, if I have to rewrite something 5 times or 6 times because something changes, we're in freaking alpha, right?
Yeah.
Like
it's real. We're not kidding, right? We're building. I keep telling the team this as I'm apologizing to them for how much pressure we put on them. Like, we basically have all jumped out the airplane. I'm like, hey, build the parachute. Also, the ground is coming pretty fast.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. If you don't like that, then people have secured their land, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't like things changing around you, then that's cool. You have your land. It's secure. Right. It's going to be there for you once things stabilize. Right. So just chill. Like, you don't have to hold on to it.
And if you really hate it, sell it. Sorry. If you really hate it, sell it for a 10x profit. You're welcome.
and if you want something that will never change, go buy a MetaForce comic NFT.
There you go. Nice.
See how he brought it right back there? And he did it in less than 6,000 words. You get a gold star for that one. That was solid work.
That was well done.
We'll have to have you take over for Billy Mays, shilling some products here. You good with selling some sealant or anything?
Nailed it.
Yeah.
So not giving it. Do we have a chance of getting 200 from the random land plots? I don't think so. I mean, maybe. We have no idea. I don't know what got taken up in the probe event. But I wasn't expecting any. Did I go in and immediately look to see if I got any hundreds? Yes, I did. Did I get any? No.
I know of one person that got 100 off the random, but I think that was very, very, very unlikely.
Super rare. Yeah, that's super rare.
I unfortunately missed on my probe. Somebody beat me by a couple seconds. So I'm rejiggering some plans and talking to people. But I think we'll figure out a way to get it done somehow. I don't know, but
so many probe jokes I'm holding back.
No, you can't. I mean, the second, it's funny too. We were talking when we were first talking about what we should call him. It's a bunch of different ideas that kind of came in, and Dennis like, "Why do you call him probe?" And I'm like,
somebody just beat Returier to getting their probe in there.
Right? It's like instantaneously. Yeah. That's the one for sure because it's gross.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So I can answer this question. Somebody's saying, then why does it say on the 200 that they're common? Well, they were common.
They're all common.
But here's the thing, right? Like, the probe event was for people to go in and get the choice land that they wanted.
Yeah, all the NFTs are the same. Like, this is the thing, like common, legendary, mythic, blah 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 blah. Like, we could have probably labeled them that way, and that might be something that we could do in the future. But we didn't know which ones they were going to be, right? So the only real value proposition is proximity to something that you like, right? Mm-hmm. So it might be proximity to MetaForce or proximity to the center or whatever, right? So it really is about the map, and that's why I keep blowing up Andrea Bello today. I've been obsessed with the idea of getting a map for a couple different things. And we had a chat with him this morning. We're having another chat this afternoon with the rest of the team. So that I was hoping to get that done in like 6 months. Now, like Thune, like we're gonna hopefully be able to get it to the point where you're gonna be able to look in our back office. Obviously we can see all the NFTs you have in there, and you're gonna be able to pull up a map and see everything that you own, like that, right? And that's gonna be awesome. And he's also talking about making Zillow for the uplift, which is like gold.
You know what?
I told him, like, you have to make that yourself. We're going to charge Upliftium for it. Like, I'm going to make that guy a lot of money because it's so much value for our space. It's
Corey, I got a guy that you need to talk to. I love when his thing in real life is property management software.
I mean,
and he is building property management software for Upland that will tie into all the Upland APIs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't see why that couldn't also happen for Uplift.
I mean,
And he has been showing some interest in Uplift as well recently.
Yeah. Andre's building it. I have a pretty high degree of confidence in him, but I mean, we could build it faster with 2 people, and I think there's going to be enough potential income in it to make it interesting for a team as opposed to one person. So
I'll just put you two guys together. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But
yeah, I'm excited about where, like, Andre's. And this is the thing, like, Andre was building this already. That's what's fascinating about it. Like,
I need. All right, so you're already down the path.
Yeah, no, he before even talking to us, he's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna build it because clearly people need it." I'm like,
nice.
That's why, because we were gonna do it internally, but if people are gonna start coming in and like just making this stuff,
yeah,
again, we're gonna be the platform. We want other people to be, creating really awesome, businesses and value around this, right? So we don't want to get in the way of that, right? Yeah, awesome. But it's gonna be awesome because he's gonna charge. He's only gonna charge Upliftium for listings. So that if for anyone paying attention is a demand sink, and it will counter inflation and maybe have a price effect. I don't know.
I'm really impressed with that, because if you watch back our episode from last Tuesday when we had Bonds on and you were running the generator for our planet, we found out that guy actually who made the generator that generates all the things that you need to make the things that you get that have value.
That's the pigwig guy. Is essentially, it's pigwig.
Yeah, I knew. I couldn't remember his name. I couldn't remember whether it was Pigwig or Piggly Wiggly, and I didn't want to mess it up.
Okay.
Don't want to offend anybody.
Right? Anyway, yeah, Piggly Wiggly, because that's so far removed.
But yeah, like he's at a loss. Bonds was saying, because he built this as a community project.
I told him to charge for it.
Like, and yeah, legit. On the stream you said, charge for it. Let people like pay a commission and wax. And so I really like the fact that somebody is coming to various projects like us and saying, hey, we were going to build this anyway, and we're in the position to be able to reward them. Like, if you have good ideas, and I'm sure Recurrier and Mars are the same. Like, if you're a good freaking artist and you want to have like a guest appearance in a comic book, and you can draw some cool shit, or you're going to build a cool app that we're going to be able to use, like what Recurrier said, like, this is what the blockchain space should be, in my opinion. Yes. If you go to any project and you say, I'm going to do this for free, and they don't reward you, then go somewhere else, because I think everyone should be rewarded.
And here's another thing. I'm really glad you brought that up, Jimmy. So we're doing our cards first because we have to build the way to make comic books work, right? Because right now, like NFTs, if you have an image and another image and another image, you click through them. That's not a fun way to read a comic book. So we need to build a way to make the comic books work so that you go to the website and you open it up and you read a comic book, you flip the pages. So it's comfortable, just like an e-reader or something, right? But you actually own that content. And we want it to be more than just static content. That's really easy for a PDF where you flip the page and it's always the same thing. Well, what about you have a comic book that you can open it and you can flip the pages, and the pages are dynamic. You watch the pages as well as reading them, right? But you can flip them like a long form NFT. That's not something that I am aware of being out there.
Did you say
definitely not in the
long form NFT?
Long form NFT. Yep.
That's good cake. It's like, I'm gonna get that tattooed to my nipple.
So yeah, nice one, like that goes around. Long form NFT.
Sure. Yeah. So now that's gonna hurt.
There's somewhere else you could.
That's a good. I like that.
Tattoo it. I'm not sure if it's a long enough form, but I mean that's your information. So, but here's the thing. Like, we're gonna figure that out. We're gonna build it, and then we're gonna tell people this is how we built it. Other people go build this too, because I'm not into that whole idea of like super proprietary crap. And it's like, you're only going to be able to read MetaForce Comics on the MetaForce website, and you got to this and you got that.
Yep.
What I want is like, yeah, read a comics on our website. If somebody else can do that too, that's great. That's options for the consumer. If you can read other people's books, novels, like I envision a world where the ownership of things like books, like full-length novels, is not tied to a proprietary software like it is now with Amazon and it is with Google. Like, you buy it on their platform and you can never go anywhere with it. You can never share it with anyone. It's very difficult to lend it. Screw that. You want to be able to buy books and comic books as NFTs and just shoot them out to your buddy and let him read them and pass them back and do all of that stuff and not be married to a platform. So we are working on figuring it out. We are using some of the proceeds from our pack sale to pay for some stuff to make it work. But once we know how we do it, like, that's not going to be a big secret. We're going to work with people that want to do that too.
I mean, talk to me after, because I have a great gamification aspect for you, but that's not really what I really want to say. What I really want to say is, like, I think that's a really cool idea. But, okay, I think that's a really cool idea. But the other thing is, like, if you use MetaForce's technology to launch your own comic book, that's awesome, because I believe in decentralization. But take 1% of all your sales and give it back to them of your own free volition, because that's the world that I want to live in. I want to live in a world where people voluntarily have everything they need to be a successful free, and then they voluntarily give back to where they got it from. I'm never going to.
Or, and this is a crazy thought, you know, and I love that idea too. It's just like it's not enforceable, because again, like I'm
not saying about enforceable.
No, I know. And here's why this is why I'm bringing this up in this particular way. Micropayments are going to be a really, really easy thing to do, but then we can also start to not control, but like we can incentivize different ecosystems based on the different tokens we have, because we have a lot of them, Aether, Upliftium, you know, there's going to be a lot of different things we could do there, right? But in the particular thing with Pigwig, like, he saved me a day of time, right? Like, there has to be like a 1% vig on that.
I think
that would make him fucking rich. He would be rich in a month off that. Like legitimately loaded.
I think what will be perfect is there's already built in, here's this small quarter of a wax or whatever fee for every blend, right?
Yeah.
Just double that. Just the 0.25% for each one goes to the pot, and then a quarter of a wax for each blend.
I know, it's in Aether. In Aether. Pay
and
the guy
maybe
in
Aether too, but
this is the thing. I spent like a penny for Pigwig, like you know, with wax or whatever, like 4 cents. No, right? I spent $4,000 using his machine, and his machine. If it wasn't for his machine, I wouldn't have spent a dime.
Yeah,
like I'm telling you, I wouldn't have done it, because I don't have time. Like, I literally don't have time to do it.
Yeah,
right? So like having 1% of that, like I wouldn't have. Like I kind of noticed, because I'm still kind of like sore about it a little bit, because it's a lot, but like you know, having 1% on that, I wouldn't really have noticed. It would have been completely worth my time, all in Aether that I'm gonna spend anyway, right? And for him, that's like $40 off of, you know, one nerd in a day.
Yeah,
right. Like that's like, I want to see him make bank, because that he's providing a ridiculous amount of money for us, right? And we're not going to notice 1%, not really, right? And just, you know, I think you should
so just
get at
just playing around with some numbers. So that 7 million Ether blend, right?
Yeah, that
was 175 tasks roughly.
Okay,
right? And each task is like a quarter of a wax, right? So that blend would be like 40 wax.
Maybe. I don't think it was though. Like when I was paying it, it was charging me like maybe 7 total. Like it was like a quarter of a percent. It was tiny.
Maybe I'm off. Maybe it's
really
0.025.
Yeah, I think it's super tiny, like too small.
Yeah.
Like just make it Aether.
Yeah, you think about how valuable an hour or two of your life is to spend on another project, and it's a drop in the bucket what you can give to that guy. You know?
Exactly, right? And again, like, you know, Pigwig, I don't. I'm gonna have to check my records to see if I did do it. I'm gonna be doing that of my own volition, because holy shit, right? Like and everyone should, but at the same time, like if you're gonna make something that valuable, like figure out how to charge something for it. If people don't want to pay it, fuck them. Like seriously, if you want to go do it yourself, and people have the option, right? They can go and like spend, and if you have the time, great. If you need that convenience, like I do, like because it's literally make or break whether or not I can play the game, then you know, just get them paid.
Yeah, beyond the convenience of, you know, how difficult it would be to do that manually, like you said, the time savings, like the value there is just it's
immense. You know, it's a great tool. The guy really freaking knocked it out of the park. I want him to get Aether rich. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Seems fair. But yeah, no, that's how we are. That's you guys obviously are of the same mindset. Of just all of these different communities really becoming one big community, and just doing the right thing for people.
Yeah,
like
win, baby.
I make a lot of dumb personal decisions with my wax. As Recurrier said earlier, there is the bot problem on the free drops, and my personal way of combating that is I then go buy all of them and then give them to other people in chats. So I go buy our own stickers off the market that I think are from bots, and then I throw them their ransom money and give them to someone who's going to appreciate it.
Like that's next level awesomeness, to be honest. But
it really is. And this is the thing too with Bounty Block and a whitelist that we completely and totally create. Instead of doing those sticker drops like that, we just drop to the high value members of the community and give them the value first.
Yeah, we have to establish those criteria here since we're so new. So it's like Recurrier said with the whitelist. Like
when you interact with anyone and you're like, you're a cool, get their wax address and send it to me with their Twitter handle or their Telegram handle. Right, like real human wax address. Like if you think they should be on the uplift whitelist and they're awesome, like, and this is not for the rest of you, maybe actually. Well, this is the first thing I did is I posted on Twitter. I said, listen, if you like, who deserves to be on this list, right? And add your wax address. So what? Two things we find out: the people that should be on the list because they're tagging them in the comments, and the people who are self-selecting themselves to promote other people. I want you both. Right? Like those, that worked out better than I really imagined that it would. And we have to go through and still collect all those wax addresses on it. But that to me is like, that's a community thing, right? You're uplifting somebody else. You're kind of one of the first people I want on the list, right? Like that's sort of the vibe that we want to have.
I mean, I want to put people on the list automatically that have ever won one of our NFTs on the show, that we've ever sent an NFT to, like, because they're tuning in, they're watching us, right? Like, and I don't think you can sign into the game with a bot. I'm not really sure how that works, but like if you sign into the game with a bot, are you going to be able to move $5? Probably not. So I think there's definitely some value in this idea.
Just the people that just get in the game, that's one thing, right? If you're a tourist, cool.
Yeah.
The people I want, like the people that are building, and honestly building anything, like building in earnest, those people get on the list.
Yeah.
I don't want this to be necessarily easy, right? And there's some people who are building that like I actively won't put on the list, and also they might not be in the game anymore by tomorrow. And again, this is the thing. Like there's like 3 dudes who are like in my inbox because of some stupid bullshit every day, and that's not gonna. After today, that won't be happening anymore. And again, that's out of 1,000 people in game, right? Or that have access to the game right now, and there's like more now that we dropped the land or whatever. Like just like. If it's like 0.2% of people that are just they're not going to get it. They're constantly going to be causing problems. I'm just going to get rid of you. And I'm never going to look back, or we're never going to talk to you again. Like that's, there's so many good people doing good things here. You can't be allowed to waste our time.
Yeah, and I live by the motto, you just have to do what makes you happy. And, if that doesn't end up making other people happy, then it's just not for them. There's no downside in that. Not everyone has to like everything. So,
right.
You make yourself happy and those around you. And, if it's not for you, then just keep it moving. That's kind of my philosophy on life. I don't spend a whole lot of time. I'm obviously if it's valid feedback and concerns.
That totally different. Absolutely, right? Andre, focus on the 8%.
Say to someone, it sounds like this just isn't for you. And
right.
that's fine.
That's exactly. Like I've been reading a lot of Derek Severs, who's got some amazing books out, and he like started CD Baby, and it's just like a genuinely cool guy. Thinks of companies as like Life Design and stuff. And we get to. We actually released our first CD ever quite some time ago through CD Baby. So did I. That's the thing, like that. So did I. But yeah, he talks about sort of gleefully excluding people, like and the whole idea. Andre's right, like the 80% and forget the other 20. I keep marveling at the fact that it's legitimately 98% to 2%. Like, and that's to me is like crazy. And again, like when we start to scale, which is kind of inevitable, like I think that. We have a lot of effect on the culture right now, which is something that is really important to me, right? Like that win-win-win thing. Like gratitude isn't a gimmick. Like it's something that we're doing our best to build into the infrastructure of the world, right? And as we start to scale quickly, I think we're gonna lose some momentum on that, right? Because like more people are getting on board all the time, and that's more of sort of the ambient way that the world thinks and feels about things will be sort of crashing into our system. So the more we can do to build a really, really strong foundation of that, the longer that's going to last, and the more it will sort of percolate once it scales. But yeah, just the fact that it's 98-2 right now, like I'll prune the fuck out of that 2%.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's been good so far. We'll see if that side of it picks up steam after launch here. But it's been remarkable, the DMs and things I've been getting from other artists and people who already, it's super flattering, just say that, our project and the things that we've done in the space, opened their eyes, and now they're creating NFT art or whatever it may be. We have awesome community members in the Upland Action News show, that I occasionally work with Left House, and one of our hardcore fans there, I got a DM that was actually typed by his 8-year-old son, showing me which NFT of ours was his favorite. It's just, you can't explain how awesome that stuff is. And no amount of negative messages could ever overwhelm those, So it's every day I wake up to something that makes my day from some random person, and it doesn't get more amazing than that.
I think, and Mars and I have talked about this at length, is MetaForce Comics and the MetaForce team is definitely a comic book and a group now, but our goal is that that's a brand, right? MetaForce Comics will be like saying, not to the scale, like we don't have the money of these guys, but like saying Marvel Comics or DC Comics, like we want to build a comic book world in the NFT space, and we want to work with other people that see that vision too. So if, and I'm putting this out there, if there's somebody else that wants to figure out how to work with us, to collaborate with us, if we want to talk about other comic books and all of that stuff, we want to grow into that. We want to empower comic book style artists to create, and we're going to have our storyline, which we've built out. We've got couple years worth of comics planned out. Mars has got his storyline built, and it's awesome, and I love it. But that doesn't need to be to the exclusion of us helping other people figure out how to get in the space and figure out how to make their own art. And I'm happy to talk people through it. I spend a significant amount of my time talking with people in DMs, and they ask me, how do you guys do it? How do you do this? How do you do that? I want to give them the tools to go and create on their own. And I don't need to, keep that stuff secret. I want people to be able to grow. And if you want to grow as part of our brand or part of the Our Planet brand or part of the Upland Comics brand, that's great. If you want to go out and do your own thing and you just need me to point you in the right direction, that's great. We just want to build the space.
And I mean, like, just to verify that, like, Recurrier and I had this exact conversation last night about another project that, like, we could potentially, implement into the whole ecosystem. So I really like that. I have one question for Corey. Was this a plan shirt, by the way, today?
Was it a plan shirt? No, I just really like it. I didn't even know Mars was coming. I was like, no, wait. Yes, that's what I should have said. Clearly, that was all part of the plan.
I'm popular in the NFT space right now, apparently. Someone was trying to colonize me the other day. They said they were going to build on the left foot, so at least that one has the best rhythm. So that was a good piece of land for them to pull in their pack.
I like it though. Like I like the story that you told about the children and the favorite NFT. We've had a few guests on the show, the Alpaca guys, which are also the Nifty Box team. They're kind of doing a family endeavor. We've had a couple instances in our community as well, where people have come in with their kids and started to build and even just been excited or having gratitudes towards things. So I think like things like comic books and it looks like what you guys are doing is pretty cool in terms of storyline, where again it's going to be something I think that parents and children can do together, friends can do together. I was like The Simpsons, because it might not be the best show out there, but like it's different levels for different people. Whether you're an adult or whether you're a kid, you get different things out of it. And I think that's what this space that we're in with the Uplift, or maybe what you guys are doing with Metaverse, is kind of replicating those things in the real world where, you can go and you can watch like a Marvel movie as an adult and as a kid, and you're going to get two completely different things, right? And even the same character, you're going to get two completely different things. So I'm really excited to see how this space brings people together, as families, more importantly, than anything, right? Like, because we're kind of missing that link in society. So it's nice to hear those stories like what you said, Mars, where it's like, oh yeah, like I'm like, hey, what did you do last night? Well, I went into Daddy's NFT collection, and I picked my favorite NFT, and then Daddy told this guy in a Mexican wrestler mask on a live stream, and he shouted me out and said my name, and it's really cool. I'm kind of making that up. It might have happened, but it actually happened on our channel, right? Like, it happened with our show, and I think this is really cool that kids are getting interested in what their parents do. I'm sorry, Rick Courier, but probably, most kids aren't interested in what engineers do, but they're definitely interested. Definitely interested in what your Metaverse character is doing. You know what I mean? And I think that's a really cool part of the space that we get to
it's that's the best part. Like I said, kind of about the way that my personal at our Red Planet team and just the NFT community that I have here, are a lot of people that are actually in my life. Like I said, Bonds and I are friends, and his daughter knows how to use Pigwig's tool better than I do. It's my niece is a young one, and she's working on some NFT art. And actually, when Bonds was on Tuesday, he was talking about his friend that was a stay-at-home mom that's making her income off NFTs. So tomorrow for our launch, we're actually bringing all those people together in the same place to actually celebrate, all of this work and live stream together, and have a community around it all that does include every age group to get them involved in the space. So I agree with you, Jimmy. It's exciting.
Shit.
Yeah, so the launch is on Atomic Hub. What time is that happening? Because I don't think we covered that yet on this show.
So the launch, the pack sale will be at noon. Right now, there are links from our website. Since the actual drops have not been built yet, if you click the link, it'll just take you to Atomic Hub. We know that's the case. That's going to be fixed as soon as the drops are built. I've actually been talking with Jonah a little bit as we're going. We're doing final details. We're finishing up, dotting the I's, crossing the T's. So those drops will be built prior to the sale, and we will wire them up to the website. And we did this very intentionally. For our first one, everything's at Atomic Hub. There's a banner at the top of Atomic Hub. If you go to Atomic Hub, you can find it. You don't need to know anything else. So just go to Atomic Hub, click on the banner. It'll take you where you need to go, or go to our website and we'll wire up those drops as soon as they are created. Those are the only two things you need to know. Metafusion is at Atomic Hub, pack openings at Atomic Hub. It's all right there. It's a one-stop shop. We wanted to keep it simple for our first launch. There's no promise that we do it exactly this way forever in the future, but this one, we wanted everybody to be able to find it, everybody to partake. We have pack limits. So there are going to be 1,500 of the bigger packs. You're limited to 2. And then there's a 1-minute cooldown on that. So if all 750 sales don't happen in the first minute, then you'll be able to get 2 more. The bigger packs, there's 8,500 of those, and you'll be able to get 10. That's 850 sales. If all of that doesn't happen in the first minute, you'll have a second shot.
And what's the cost on those?
$5 and $25, and there'll be 5 card packs and 30 card packs. We wanted
$5 and $25. How much $5 and $25? Oh,
how many are you guys doing? How many guys are going to make some money?
I see what's happening.
Yeah, so $5 for a 5 card pack, $25 for a 30 card pack. We wanted to keep it inexpensive. Our goal was to cover our costs and get the collection out there to people, and then let the people find the value in it. We don't need to. We're not looking to charge $300 or whatever for anything. It's not like we want to get it out there. We want to get it to the people. We want to cover our costs. So
the $5 packs you can buy up to 10 with a 1 minute cooldown, and the $25 packs you can buy up to 2 with a 1 minute cooldown.
Yes.
Right?
Yep,
Okay.
that's right. And then there's an hour break between buying and pack opening, because
let me jump there, just because when I did talk to Raul, I still had it in my head that it was 2 hours. So it is 1 hour there. For anybody who watched that interview, I was feeding a little bit of wrong information there.
Yeah, and that was just some as we finalized things with Jonah and everything, we got a little bit of messages crossed. But again, since everything's on Atomic, all the countdown timers are going to be there. You'll see it all. Just stick on Atomic. Jonah said typically after a sale, there is some network effect that happens, and it usually takes about 20 minutes to clear up. So by the time an hour is up, the network shouldn't have any lag. All of the APIs will have caught up, and then we can do the pack opening event at 1 o'clock. Go in there, craft, and let's get the champions out there into circulation, and just have a good time with it. I mean, that's the most important thing. Have a good time, have a blast, and put your collection together and value the commons. I think that's one of our biggest takeaways. What Mars has done, what ADK has done, every single card, including the backs, there are very few that do this. Every single card is its own image. None of the back images were even used twice. So the back image on the cards actually ties in to the rarity. There's a detail on the front that's carried over to the back that ties the two rarities together, and then there's a card number and a rarity marker on the back. So there is not a single image in the entire collection that was used twice.
Yeah.
Yes, and we did the back of them. I designed with, you see my GI Joe loves back here in old action figures. So anyone who's into any of the 80s or early 90s action figures, the back of the cards may look similar to the old action figure card backs. That might be nostalgic for you.
Yep. Yeah, it's every card is two distinct pieces of art, the front and the back. So even the commons are important to us as artists and are important to the collectors. And there's not a ton of them. Everything, the entire collection, including all of the promo packs, everything is a maximum of 90,000 cards. And once the crafting gets done, we expect that number to drop down to something closer to 60-ish thousand, depending on how many packs get open and how much crafting is done. So it's going to be pretty exclusive, and we wanted to reward the people that supported us up front, because if this thing really takes off the way we want it to, having a Series 1 collection of these will be a very, very rare thing, and we want to support the people that supported us.
You know how much of a Minecraft degen I've become, Corey? Every time Mercurius is crafting, like, I think of a crafting table.
Okay, I gotta start getting ready for the tunnel, but I'm just gonna show you guys something, and then we gotta axe it out. All right, you ready for just get the axe ready, everybody, because I love it when everyone does the axe. It's so much fun. All right, so I want to actually get this. We'll just put it like this. Maybe if I put it on the other screen. Sorry for the delay. Family. Put this over here.
I mean, while you have the delay, the cool thing about being an engineer, courier, is like your kids are totally going to want to see what daddy's building in the uplift. So there's that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be cool.
So I keep telling you guys we're working on land management.
Nice.
Wait for it. Now, the reason why this is cool, you can change the name. That's fun. The real reason is this right here. What's up, adding members?
Yeah, that's very
I
straightforward.
thought this was gonna take a lot longer. And seriously, like, I don't know how long we're gonna have to test this. Whatever. This. I'm not making any promises here. I'm just saying, like, when I say we're working on shit, it's because we're fucking working on shit. Did I mention this is an alpha to my new friend in Discord? It's a fucking alpha, buddy. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys because it's like real cool. Flow is like shockingly good.
Agreed.
Real good. All right. Anyway, so I got the button. Do the thing. MetaForce, thank you guys so much for coming. You guys are fantastic and super geniuses, and I love you guys. You guys are awesome.
Thanks for
Thanks for
having us.
having us.